and today we are discussing the 1980 film The Shining, The Shinin.
The Shinin. I think this is our first Kubrick film.
I believe so. What do I want to start off? I'm going to light a You Need a Candle right here.
Oh.
With a match. I'm going to try to burn it down. Fuck. Ow.
That's not working so far.
God, wait.
That's from the same YouTuber?
Yeah, Christian Planet CHH. He and his wife make candles. They're all horror themed. This is a Dangertainment from Halloween Resurrection. I think it's maple pecan. So this will go better. Stole a pack of matches and tried to burn it down, but I corrected them.
I've been watching a lot of stuff to get ready for The Shining. I watched Dr. Sleep that just came out recently with Ewan McGregor playing Danny Torrance. And then I watched Room 237, the documentary. Sam and I both watched Room 237.
Maybe a lighter will be better.
Oh, I gotcha.
You gonna try to do it?
Yeah.
Wait, I'm burning my fingers.
Have you ever seen Room 237?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it like maybe once, maybe twice. Yeah.
I just showed Sam it last night.
Where's it streaming?
Cracking up the whole time.
You were on some strange site for that.
Pluto TV.
Pluto
is
kind
of
right.
strange.
Yeah, that's right. We talked about that.
Because they roll ads every couple minutes.
Yeah, it's kind of like Tubi.
Free.
Yeah, like Tubi, it's the same way, but it's awesome. I mean, they got a lot of great stuff on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is your first time watching The Shining, Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you think?
I really liked it, actually. It was a lot of fun. I know most of the story because of all the memes. Like with Jack Frozen and everything.
This movie's like so ingrained in pop culture, I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel like most people know.
The one when he's frozen. That's a big meme usually.
Yeah.
There's a good gif where he's like to the Lloyd, the bartender. Carl, I remember bringing this up to you when around the time I first met you, and you being like, "Yeah, I don't like that movie. It's too scary," something like that.
It's not too scary. It's just like
I remember you saying you didn't like it.
Yeah.
I think, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think I watched it probably like late high school, early college.
Okay.
Yeah, it didn't really stick with me. I mean, you have so many better films in Kubrick's filmography. We got 2001 Space Odyssey is a lot of fun. Really expands the mind in a way.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
And then Full Metal Jacket, you got machine guns everywhere, and it's great storytelling and all kinds of great stuff. And then I don't know, this one, it just doesn't hit the same way.
Did you see those before this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I think this was the first Stanley Kubrick movie I ever saw. They would show it. I think one year we watched it on Halloween, probably like 20 years ago. They were showing it on TV. And my mom and we caught probably like the last half of it.
Oh, okay.
And even then, it was still really creepy.
Well, that's definitely the best part is the last half.
Yeah, I mean, I like all of it.
That's where all the action happens.
But yeah, that is kind of where the shit hits the fan, so to speak. But
it's a lot of being like stuck in and snowed in and like the paranoia and seeing ghosts down hallways or twins or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they're like broken relationship already.
Yeah.
They're stuck together.
Yeah. Yeah. We learned that he's had a history with alcoholism. I guess that's where Stephen King kind of got the inspiration to do this movie, was his dealings with his alcoholism at the time or before he wrote it. And I think that's why one of the reasons why he doesn't like this movie, because they kind of gloss over it. They talk, it's way more in the movie version. I've never read the book Dr. Sleep. I've never read the book of The Shining either, but in the movie of The Shining or the Dr. Sleep, they really touch upon the alcoholism way more than this. Yeah, it's like the son's all grown up. He's going to like AA meetings, I want to say, or something.
Yeah, he's pretty torn up.
Yeah.
In Dr. Sleep?
Yeah.
Yeah, which was made recently. I want to say 2018.
Somewhere around there. Christian and I saw it in the theater.
2019.
Yeah.
Right before the pandemic.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, that one had way more action too.
Right. I mean, in my opinion, it's okay. Before I forget, you know what I appreciate about Dr. Sleep is they don't do the bullshit Star Wars thing where they de-age people and everyone looks awful. They get new actors to play like Shelley Duvall and Jack Nicholson and Scatman Crothers. It's like, yeah, do that, because it's way more convincing than these fucking stupid Uncanny Valley deepfakes.
I did like the guy they got for Scatman.
Yeah, he was good. They got the kid from E.T. to play Jack Nicholson. You can't really tell because it's only in profile. But
that's cool.
Yeah.
Elliot.
Yeah.
That's cool. But yeah, you know, we were watching Room 237, and I was trying to decide if that helped my perspective on this movie, because even I watched it Sunday, The Shining, and I was like, okay, I rewatched it with Sam. It was okay, you know, it's still kind of okay. I kind of understood it a little bit better now though, because of, you know, the themes of alcohol. I was actually listening to the character development within like people's I don't know, conversations. Like she's like, oh yeah, Jack, he like pulled his arm and dislocated his shoulder. So I was kind of understanding it a little bit better now that, I don't know, I'm a little bit older, I guess. I can't say I liked it again on that rewatch, but then I watched Room 237 and I started looking at it with that just insane lens of, is that the moon landing? Yeah. Is he talking about, what's he talking about there? Is he talking about Nazi genocide? Hold on, wait, is that actually what's going on? I don't know. Because
we were talking about it last night. I think we kind of agreed the only thing you could kind of take from that was maybe like the Native American stuff.
Because it's a heavy theme in this film is the Native Americans.
One thing that was really funny with the space stuff was Tang. There's Tang in the food storage closet, and Tang is, you know, what they gave astronauts. In fact, the theme song that Samantha and I recorded is it's from a Tang commercial.
What?
Yeah,
no way.
The only a bullshit artist figured that out. He found us out, but
that's funny.
Anyway, but yeah, good old Tang.
I think they even did like commercials where Tang was like in front of the Apollo 11 footage when they're walking on the moon.
I just remember the monkey. Do you remember the monkey?
No.
There's the Tang commercials with a monkey. I think that had a space connection thing, and we sent monkeys to space.
Have you ever tried Tang?
Like if I did, it was like 25 years ago. I remember it's an orange flavored drink, right? I think.
Yeah, I'm sure. It looks like Kool-Aid or something.
Yeah, it's like Kool-Aid but orange, I believe, if I remember correctly.
In Room 237, they were hyper focusing on in that food closet, the Native American
baking
cans.
soda. Yeah,
I was like, what about the Tang up on the top?
Yeah, or the Oreos in the back.
They bring that up, right? They do talk about the Tang though, right? Don't they?
In
later on.
Okay.
When they're talking about the space stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I guess the baking powder, it's called Calumet baking powder, which the guy said in that film, Calumet means peace pipe. Clearly, it's about the Native American genocide. It's like, okay.
Well, you brought it up that Stuart Ullman brings up that it was built on an Indian burial ground. I'm like, really? Mm-hmm. And I watched it yesterday. I'm like, yeah, he does say that, because so many people, I told you this, so many people make the misconception about Poltergeist that the house and neighborhood in that movie are built over an Indian burial ground, and that's not true.
I thought that
everybody thinks that, but it's not true. It's just a cemetery.
I was looking that up last night, and you're right.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah, I know. It's a really common misconception. It's like Luke, I am your father. It's like he says, no, I am your father.
Yeah,
you know, it's just a common misconception.
So, what do you think about that? Is it about the American Indian genocide?
You can look at it like that. I don't really look at it like that. It could probably play. I think it's just setting up that this place is not good. That's the only thing I take from it. It's just like, this is not my kind of place. Like this is not a place where good things happen.
I think in that documentary they point out that the elevators, they're overspilling with blood, because they said the doors aren't even open. It's clearly spilling over, the amount of blood and death that has happened on this land. It must be coming from the Native Americans.
That's the scene. Oh, right. It represents like the massacre of all the Native Americans.
Oh, or it could represent all the sins of the past.
Yeah.
Or
the blood of the people that were killed there.
Clearly, those little girls got killed
the Native
there.
Americans. Yeah. That's a scene too. That's just kind of ingrained in pop culture. The blood coming out from the elevators. Have you guys ever seen the Treehouse of Horror where they parody? It's where the Shinnin.
I think so.
Shinnin.
Yeah.
There's this great. So it's like Mr. Burns and Smithers are like the owners of the hotel that the Simpsons are watching, and they're kind of giving them a tour. And then they're at the elevators, and then the blood comes out, and Mr. Burns just goes, "It's odd. Usually the blood gets off at the second floor." I remember thinking like that was the funniest fucking joke I've ever heard in my life.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's funny.
Lord,
good old Simpsons.
Simpsons did it. What do you guys think about the music in this film? The use of music.
I like it a lot. You guys like it?
I can't decide. I think I do. It is very haunting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a way to drive the suspense and the horror, because a lot of these shots are like Danny just going down a hallway with that music blaring, and then he like turns the corner and it goes, and then you're like, oh, I should be scared right now. Oh, there's the twins. Okay, now we turn the corner. It's a little late on the music, sometimes, but it's like, no, you're supposed to be scared.
I don't know if it's that. I just, because there's a scene where Jack Nicholson's typing on his typewriter and Shelley Duvall walks up to him, and right when she like walks up, it's like,
yeah.
And I don't know.
That lines up really well.
I don't know if it's just like, okay, now you're supposed to be scared, or I don't know if it's that, but it's I don't really remember what the one that you're talking about.
Well, even like the bear scene, she's like trying to run through the house, and she's clearly in a sense of panic. But then we have like the drums going, and it's like all creepy, and you can hear chanting.
Right? Yeah.
Which is pretty creepy, the chanting. Yeah. Or it kind of sounds like there's a party or something.
Right. Great party, isn't it?
But she's like slowly climbing the steps, and it's like really quiet and like chanting. And all of a sudden, she makes eye contact with the bear.
Like he's got his ass down. That's great.
Yeah. And then it does a super zoom on him. And then it's just like crazy music. And she's like, "Oh my god!"
So you think that's bad? You think?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just notice it.
How would it? So like,
how would I do it?
Yeah. Like,
exactly.
what's the alternative?
Yeah. No. Well, I'm just pointing out that it's very.
There very well could be an alternative. I don't know. I'm not skilled enough, unfortunately, to know the alternative. But it's always worked for me. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if it's just because I saw it at such a young age that it's like I'm blinded by nostalgia. I don't know, but
no.
I still think it works. I think it's that scene in and of itself is very effective, just because it's the one scene that everybody's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. It's very different too, music wise.
Yeah.
I think if it was like silent, it would be goofy, but that music and the haunting feeling of it.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. It would just be kind of awkward if it were silent.
Right.
Yeah. You just laugh if you
saw
that.
Exactly. Yeah, it definitely it sets the mood, I guess, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Or what about the horns in the beginning?
I like it a lot. I think it's great.
After hearing it for a couple times now, it's starting to like stick with me.
Yeah, and at the end of it, it kind of gets this like, like kind of like crazy. I don't know if that's a chant, but crazy noises in the background. But
they're saying that's the phantoms and the specters following the car in the intro.
I could see that. I could see that.
Creepy, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like the beginning as well, when he and Jack Nicholson, Jack Torrance, and Stuart Ullman have their meeting. I've always liked that scene as well. Because it's all really, because I think I kind of told you, because you're like, yeah, I just didn't get it. And to me, it's just like, I think the movie really is pretty straightforward. They kind of tell you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
In my opinion. That's a great scene where he talks about Charles Grady, who, went nuts and killed his family.
And they chalk it up to cabin fever.
Yeah, cabin fever. Yeah, not the shitty Eli Roth movie, the actual cabin fever. But
which is cabin fever like the most interesting thing that we can do? I mean, we can go to Vietnam, or we can go to outer space right now, and you want to put on the movie about cabin fever?
Well, that's the thing. It's not necessarily just cabin fever, though. That's the thing.
Ooh, there's supernatural elements.
Yeah,
and I think it is relatable too, because like
that's more relatable
that is
than
true.
Those two topics, I suppose.
Yeah, that is true. And it's also about what you do. Okay, so it's not an extravagant setting or premise or synopsis. So it's how you do it. It's how you execute it. It's how you go about it. That's why I really, because it's just watching three people in a hotel. Like, that's fucking boring.
Yeah.
Everything that happens in this movie to me that's what I like about it. It's just so just interesting. Like, honestly, like, this movie is 2.5 hours long. Like, I'm not bored at any time in this movie.
Ooh, okay.
That's just me though. Like, there's always these little like things that keep me interested. We were joking Dick Halloran when he's in his hotel room and there's like these giant pictures of naked ladies with afros.
Oh yeah.
It's just like the movie just never ceases to not have my attention.
You know what?
The blood.
I was never a big fan of Shelley Duvall's performance until this most recent rewatch. She's really good in this film.
She is. You didn't like it prior to the last watch?
No, and I think I was younger and I was like, oh, she's not even, a beautiful woman. And it's like, no, she's
gorgeous.
Yeah, she's gorgeous. She's doing great. She's all wiggling. She's like, ooh, ooh. Or like even when she's happy, she's like, hey Jack, how's it going?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like
taking punches basically from him verbally. Like
she's very positive and sweet.
What do you want me to do about it?
And then he's just a huge asshole to her. But then she's like taking care of everything while he sits there just typing away.
He says,
full of himself.
I owe to my stakeholders or something like that. I got responsibilities you don't understand.
Yeah.
And then
I have signed a contractual agreement that makes me the caretaker of this hotel until May the 1st.
And then you see her in the boiler room doing all the work.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah. So I think this was right around the time they started doing the Razzie Awards. You guys know the Razzie Awards?
Isn't that bad?
Yeah, it's like the Oscars, but the opposite. It's like the worst. It's like a ceremony for the worst movies and the worst this, that, and the other thing. And
I think we might have talked about that for Blair Witch.
Oh, really?
Didn't the
maybe
Blair Witch get a Razzie?
Yeah. Okay, that sounds about right. Because Stanley Kubrick was nominated for Worst Director, and Shelley Duvall was nominated for Worst Actress.
Oh,
but the thing that kind of irks me is they retracted her. I don't know if she won or not. Regardless if it was a award, if she actually won or was nominated, they retracted it after people have kind of found out more about how she was treated on this movie. And I think that's bullshit. I don't like that. It's just like, oh, you were treated this way? Well, we take it back. Doesn't change the performance at all. Like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
That's just like, oh, we feel bad, so we felt bad that that doesn't change shit. Like, you still nominated her for or gave her an award for worst actress. Oh, we found out that you were treated awfully by an asshole. What's the comment?
You were traumatized.
Yeah. Oh, Jamie.
Hey, Jamie.
What's up, Jamie? We love the shot. I love the shot. Well, I don't know about
Hello.
Carlos, but
I'm
Sam.
developing a relationship with The Shining.
Yeah, he's getting to know The Shining.
Yeah,
he's going on dates. Yeah, I don't like that. That's just kind of like them covering their asses. I feel like, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I've always liked it. Maybe it's also because I don't think it's a bad performance. I've never thought it was a bad performance. I've always liked her in this movie.
Well, did I tell you, Sam, that Shelley Duvall, she was like tortured on set when they were making it?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They're like, "Ooh, you were traumatized. We'll take it back."
My bad. I guess Kubrick would like yell at her or something.
They always had her on a state of elevated fear or whatever.
Yeah, thank you, Jamie. Yeah. He poured me a glass of the old white man's burden, which I never understood that. I don't get why alcohol is only the white man's burden. But thank you, Jamie. Yeah, I had to for this video. But
yes.
What the hell was I gonna say? Shelley Duvall, I guess we're talking about.
Yeah, Shelley.
I told Sam that's me at work every day. Just look at my computer screen. What's going on? What the fuck's going on? You did this. How could you? How could you? I really like the thing I really like about this movie. It's just the interactions of just two people.
Mm-hmm.
It's great when it's Wendy talking to the doctor lady. It's great when Danny's talking to Halloran. It's great when Jack Nicholson's talking to Joe Turkel, Lloyd the bartender. It's great when Jack Nicholson's talking to the waiter servant guy. There's just so many instances of just like two people talking, and it's just so great. Yeah.
Call her stupid and yell at her and pick at her self-confidence. Jeez.
Yeah, her like hair started falling out and all this really weird, crazy stuff. Yeah, she was really, she went through the ringer. It's really sad.
Did he do that to any of his other actors, or just
I
to pick on Shelley?
I don't know. Yeah, isn't that weird? Like, that's what everyone says. He's such a mastermind. He's a genius. It's like, the guy kind of sounds like a fucking asshole too. And I like his movies a lot, but and he like took like so many like he shot like. I think the scene where like she's swinging the bat around, he's walking up the stairs. They shot that like over 100 times or something.
Whoa.
It's like, why?
Yeah.
Like he's just like a obsessive compulsive prick. I don't know.
Huh.
But makes great movies.
I wouldn't. Yeah. Why would you take 100 takes of that shot?
That was just his thing. I think that wasn't just this movie. He would do that on like every movie.
Huh.
That was just his thing. I don't know. I have no idea.
Do you like Danny's performance in this film?
Yeah.
He does pretty good for a child actor.
Do you guys like it?
Yeah,
I think it works for me.
That was the kid's idea. He just was doing that in the audition because that's not in the book.
Whoa.
In the book, it's just I think it's all like
inside
inner monologue or whatever you want to call that. And he would just do that, and they just incorporated it into the movie. Danny's not here, Mrs. Torrance. Yeah, I agree, Jamie. I think that's kind of BS as well.
He did it for the art.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's sad. It's sad stuff. I feel sad for her character, and her Shelley Duvall herself.
Yeah. Jack Nicholson, though, oh my goodness gracious, he puts on hell of a performance in this one. Which I thought that this was post Batman when he played the Joker, but no, this was before Batman.
Makes sense why he's the Joker.
Yeah, perfect sense.
Oh yeah,
because he even kind of puts like a little. I want to say it's almost comedic at points, especially when they're walking up the steps and he's like sticking his tongue out.
Stop swinging the bat. Wendy.
Yeah, there's a lot of times that I laughed at Jack's performance.
Oh yeah,
because of how kooky he looked.
I like when he's talking to Lloyd and he's like, I love the little son of a bitch. Yeah. I wouldn't hurt a single fucking hair on that kid. And then he kind of stops. He like looks around. He's like, yeah, I did hurt him once. Okay. It's just like, why are you looking around? It's only people in there. It's so funny. Yeah, we were just reading. So Stephen King said there's a lot of misogyny in this movie. I've never read the book, so I don't know if it's also that much in the book itself. I know Stephen King notoriously does not like this movie because of all the changes that were made. I guess we can get into that later. But
that seems to be the theme of this film for sure, is misogyny.
Mm-hmm.
That
she just takes all the punches and has to still take care of everything and still loves him. And
alcoholism is another theme.
Yeah, but see, it's just like kind of I think that's what pisses him off too. I think he just kind of, in this movie, it's glanced over. It's not really, because like I said in Dr. Sleep, it's way more touched upon. But yeah, like they just kind of talk. Yeah, he's like he's been on the wagon for 5 months. That's really kind of all they talk about. And then here's to 5 miserable ones on the wagon, and then he takes his drink, and that's about it.
Yeah. Well, but then that's when he starts going crazy too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point. Yeah.
Because he gets back on the bottle.
Yeah. But see, that's the thing. But is he actually drinking booze? Because Ullman tells him, it's like, yeah, we lock all the booze away from where. That's one thing too I was trying to follow along with, because when Ullman and Nicholson and the other guy are meeting initially, he's like, I find that strange. Wouldn't the ski season be best during winter? And Ullman's reasoning, and I guess the people that run the hotel's reasoning behind it, is that the hotel was built specifically to be a secluded, like in seclusion, to sort of be, I guess, kind of maybe more for the well-off and swanky.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of in an area, I guess that kind of sets up the conflict of this movie too. It's hard to get to.
Yeah.
And the economic means to clear the roads during the snow during winter would be too much of a hassle for them to keep it open during winter.
Mm-hmm.
So it's predominantly a spring summer resort, which is interesting.
Good conversation to like set up like, oh no, you're like going to be isolated this whole time.
Yeah.
At like later on you might ask, why didn't they just leave? Why didn't you just take off? No, like this is why.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
And there's a perfectly good reason why.
Yeah.
There's a skiing poster when we initially see the twins in the
what do they say?
The games room.
What do they say in room 237?
They say that it's a minotaur, but we were zooming in last night and it clearly says ski.
Half
man, half horse or whatever. Okay.
He wasn't drinking any whiskey. It was a visual metaphor for the hotel possessing him.
I think you're absolutely right, Jamie.
Yep.
Yeah. I think you're absolutely right.
And then there's that turn in the bathroom too when he's talking to Grady.
You
can kind of see it. He's like,
and he's now Delbert Grady.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different first names.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it Charles?
Charles. So Ullman tells him about Charles Grady, and in the bathroom, he's Grady, sir. Delbert Grady. Delbert Grady? Mr. Grady, haven't I seen you before?
he's kind of nervous, but then he's like, "Didn't you kill your kids?" And he's like, "No, I never did that." And then eventually something flips, and he's like, "I did. I had to teach them a lesson. Maybe you should too."
Well, that's the beauty, in my opinion, of that scene. It totally, at first, Jack Nicholson's kind of I don't know what you want to call it. Like, he's kind of more in control and kind of the one steering the conversation.
Yeah.
And then it gets to the point, like, you were the caretaker. He's like, "I'm sorry, sir, but I'm afraid you are the caretaker. You've always been the caretaker." And then that's when he starts kind of commandeering the conversation and kind of showing that there's a lot of sinister work here.
Yeah, it's a good flip.
Yeah, that's great. It's my favorite scene in the movie. That's the one that always stuck with me. My dad, I remember, because I think I asked my dad about. I think my dad got to see this in the theater when it came out, and
nice.
I remember asking him, it's like what, I don't get what happened to him at the end. That was like the one thing I think I didn't really get with the picture at the end. He's like, well, remember in the bathroom when the kind of waiter butler guy tells him that, like, they've always been there. It's kind of like, it's almost like not only does it take you at this time, and like it kind of like you become a part of it throughout its whole history.
Well, that's brought up a couple times. I think earlier on in the film, Shelley Duvall's checking in on him, and he's like, "I feel like I've known this place for a long time, and every time I turn a corner, I know what's there.
It's almost like I've been here before."
Yeah. Well, and then at the very end, we zoom in on that picture that says 1921.
Yeah, the 4th of July party.
Yeah, and he's in the picture. So is he a spirit haunting this hotel? What's going on there?
Well,
has he never left?
Sam, what do you think?
What do you think?
I don't know.
I think when he died, he became a part of it.
Yeah.
And I think when he went to the hotel, is kind of like enticing him in a way.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's the beauty of this movie to me. It's A, it's so interpretable, and B, they all kind of talk like, again, everyone's like, this movie doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. It's like I've never understood that, because they really kind of set you up in understanding how this hotel works. When Halloran and Danny are talking, he's like, some people shine, some don't. And sometimes some places shine and some places attract a certain type of, feeling or aura, whatever you want to call it. And it's like, I think a lot of bad things happen here. And, and he kind of is setting up that, this place is not necessarily, this is not my kind of place. This is not good.
Well, I think like Jack is attracted to the hotel because he's a writer and he wants to make a good story.
Yeah.
And
it's a good gig,
right?
Taking care of a hotel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I like how, like, I feel like the kid knows he's trying to tell his parents, like, I don't want to go there. It's going to be bad. There's going to be murder.
Right.
And the doctor comes in and it's like, it just happens sometimes. Kids have wild imaginations.
Right.
And he's the only one that understands, like, this is going to be bad news. Like, he's also along with Jack in knowing the history of the hotel, and like maybe it's just like a family line thing. I don't know.
Oh yeah. But does that mean Jack can shine a little bit, but he just doesn't realize it?
No, I don't think so. I personally don't think so. No, I think he's just more susceptible to seeing some of the crazy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. See?
Ghosts and psychic. I don't understand ghosts and psychic abilities. That's my problem understanding this film.
So,
I'm used to like a guy in a white sheet, not a hot lady coming out of a bathtub and then turning into a witch. That's a scary ghost.
You think Jack has it? I don't think he does. Because so then does Shelley Duvall have it too? Because she starts seeing shit too at the end.
At the end, after everything else,
right? When the shit really hits the fan, after he kills Dick Halloran and everything. Oh, okay. See, I've never read Dr. Sleep.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, because it's like, so then do all of them have it? Because Halloran obviously has it. That's how he and Danny can shine to each other.
His grandma called it the shining.
Shining. We used to call it shining. We have whole conversations without even opening our mouths.
Would the kid have the shining ability, but then the parents are just going crazy from cabin fever and they just see shit because they're secluded?
I don't. I personally, I think it's the hotel kind of. Especially when Shelley Duvall starts seeing it. Shelley only sees when she accepts. Okay. I feel like it's the hotel finally just being like, I'm gonna show you what this place really is.
Okay.
I'm gonna scare the hell out of you.
Show you
And
all the Skellingtons.
yeah, because it's just like she already knows. I think by that point, she already knows that Jack killed the Dick Halloran, and that basically Jack's gone fucking nuts, and that they need to get the hell out of there. So I think it's the hotel's fine. It's just like, all right, well, I'm gonna show you all this fucking shit, all this really wacky stuff.
What?
That's okay. So I guess is that in Doctor Sleep?
Jack drinks to numb his shining because he doesn't accept it.
That's interesting.
man.
That's really interesting. That's fucking interesting, man. That's fucking
Yeah.
interesting. Okay. Because again, I've never. Right. Oh, okay. I didn't know about hurting a student. I don't think they talk. So he hurts Danny
Yeah.
in the movie. I don't know if in the book he also hurts Danny, but both books. Okay, interesting. Wow, that's very well. No wonder Stephen King doesn't like this movie. I don't know. I think it's a fucking great movie, regardless of what Stephen King thinks, and he has every right to think that. I've heard that one reason why Stephen King was kind of like pissed off from the get-go because Stanley Kubrick, when he was writing the screenplay, he just like didn't want Stephen King's involvement at all, and Stephen King took that personally, which it's understandable, and that's one of the main reasons why he's always not liked this movie. But at the same time, I think this movie still really works in the sense of how this movie is. I don't know.
What about Stuart Ullman? He's the guy in the beginning trying to hire Jack. He kind of has that toupee that looks like JFK.
Oh, that's what they said in 237.
Yeah.
So he looks like Trump.
Oh my god.
Well, he's got the American flag on his desk.
This is a Trump hotel. So Jack, you're gonna have such a great time at this hotel. We have a lot of Trump steaks that you can eat all winter. It's so great. It's a copy of Burnt Offerings. I've never seen that movie.
Burnt Offerings?
Yeah, I've never seen that flick.
Never heard of it.
But so what do they say in Room 237 about just that he looks like John F. Kennedy?
Yeah, pretty much. And then
what does that mean?
There's a whole thing about how they mapped out the hotel, and then when you go into the office, there's a big window, and they're like, the window, man, the window. That shouldn't be there.
Oh, I remember that. It doesn't work. Like architecturally, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and I was like,
well, I thought it's because they shot it on a. So inside the hotel, it was like a set in England.
Yeah.
I think that's why. I think that's why architecturally doesn't make any sense.
Continuity errors.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Like, no. It's a whole thing.
Well, we were making fun of that last night. It's like it's like. I think Stanley Kubrick is also susceptible to making continuity errors too.
He has to be.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
what film does not have continuity errors?
He planned every single thing out. He's perfect, and I don't think that's possible.
I don't buy that. Yeah,
I think there's the other scene where the chair disappears behind Jack.
Oh yeah,
for one scene and then reappears.
And then we were talking too about the dopey sticker.
The dopey
sticker goes away. It's like that means that Danny, now that he's been exposed to a hotel, he's not a dope anymore. It's like, no, that's fucking stupid. Yeah. Come on, really? Yeah. Like, no.
It almost feels like they're trying to cover for Kubrick.
Exactly. Yeah, they're Kubrick apologists. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, he's a great director, but not that not to the point to where you gotta go that route. Like,
it doesn't go that deep.
Yeah, seriously.
There's no way that you can, if you're a super genius, that you can plan that, right?
No, I don't think so.
Is that possible to even plan any of those?
Well, that's what I was saying last night, was like, if you wanted to have a storyline where, like, so Carlos was telling me that Kubrick was super, like, he really wanted to make a movie about World War II, but he couldn't do it, like, it stressed him out. And so if he were to try to tie in a World War II underlying theme, I feel like it'd be more obvious. Like, I don't think anyone has that ability to be, like, super covert and sneak it in there.
Well, yeah.
Well, Room 237 says it's because of the 42 on Danny's shirt when he's in his little bathroom.
And then 2 times 3 times 7 is 42.
Oh, that was me. The 237, Room 237, he changed it from 217, I think.
In the book, I think it's 217.
Yeah, he changes it to 237 because that's how many miles it is from
the moon to the moon.
Like
yeah.
So stop it.
Which I don't think that's true. I think I looked it up. I don't think that's true. I could be wrong though.
Well, and then Sam was like, "Wait, doesn't the moon like go in and out? Like it's in an oval when it rotates around Earth, doesn't it? So it can change lengths."
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Why are they saying it's just 237?
That's fucking interesting.
Anyway, and then the key on the room it says ROOM and then capital N and then little case O.
Right.
And the only 2 words that you can make is room or moon.
Oh my god.
This is obviously the moon room, everybody.
Yeah, there's a whole theory that this movie was Stanley Kubrick's admission that he helped our government fake the moon landing.
The Apollo 11.
And he was trying to tell us.
Which it's like, why? Why are you?
Why is that in The Shining?
Yeah, yeah.
Somebody pointed out in that documentary that this pattern that we're looking at right now, it actually resembles, I think, the Apollo 11 launch pads.
Does it really?
That's right, yeah.
Which, if you pull up a picture, let me see, Apollo 11 launch.
Someone else also said the carpet and in that room, the hallways, and then in that room.
In the other room, it's like penises entering vulvas or
yeah,
something.
that's what they're saying. Like,
it does look like that. I'll give them that.
Oh, I think this one.
Ooh,
it does, bro. It does.
I get. Well, wait a minute. What is all that?
These little launch pads.
Why are they wasn't it just one shuttle though? Why are
there so many next to each other?
I don't know. I don't know, man. That's some funky shit.
Oh man.
I read that they changed. Well, they changed it to 237 because there was a 217 in the exterior hotel that they used. They didn't want to freak customers out. But then someone says that that's not true. So I don't fucking know.
The documentary said that's not true. This is what really happened.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's funny though. It's funny to think that people actually think that Stanley Kubrick helped our government fake the moon landing. Well, and I was telling you too, none of that shit makes sense. We went to the moon like 5 times. We didn't just go once. Like I don't get it. Like I really don't get it.
You faked it each time. Baby.
Yeah. There's other weird shit. Like apparently all of our like a lot of the tapes we took over there got erased when we came back. Like the
magnetic fields or something.
Lunar or like solar flares when we came back into our atmosphere erased all the magnetic tape or something.
Whoa.
Something really weird like that.
That's weird.
But yeah, that's more interesting than this silly shit. I don't know, in my opinion.
But then that doesn't explain why Danny's wearing the sweater. Apollo 11.
I don't know. Like why ma'am.
I need a sweater like that.
Have your mom knit one for you.
Yeah.
Have Shelley Duvall knit one for you.
Yeah. Nicholas was bad with the changing from healthy to crazy. He always have a crazy face and telling the director of the hotel that's not going to happen to me, putting that mad face smiling.
Right.
Yeah.
See, isn't
that another gripe with King?
Yeah, like Jack Nicholson's pretty much crazy right from the get-go. Yeah, it's kind of clear that he doesn't really like his wife. Like when he calls her up, he's like, "Does that mean that you got the job?" Right. I'm not gonna be able to make it home before 9 or 10. So like he just the part when they're driving up there is so funny. He's like, "The hair seems different up here." That whole scene is great when he's like, it's like, "We're at the Donner Party stranded around here. I think that was farther west in the Sierras." What were the Donner Party? They were a group of settlers in covered wagon times. They got stranded in a snowstorm and had to resort to cannibalism to survive. And it's just like, why are you telling your kid this? He's like, you mean they ate each other up? They had to. That's the only way they could survive. And he's got that great line. It's like, don't worry, Mom. I saw it on TV. See? It's okay. Saw it on the television.
I like that one.
It's so great.
I think that's a good scene too because it adds to the context, like almost real world context. Like people have been trapped before in snow.
Right. Yeah.
It's a dangerous thing to be trapped in for sure.
Definitely.
You might have to cannibalize somebody.
Did they mention in room 237 that he's reading a Playgirl when they get there?
Yeah, they mentioned that too.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. I just like weird shit. Like again, like it's like the naked ladies in Halloran's bedroom. It's just like I don't know. I like that. It's funny. Yeah. I don't know. It's cool.
It's comedy.
He reads it for the articles. Come on. There's good articles in Playgirl.
They pointed out that Kubrick likes to put in some funny scenes in there. Like I guess like is it Dick Halloran? No.
Scatman.
The JFK looking guy.
Oh, Stuart Ullman.
Yeah, he like goes to shake Jack's hand, and then if you pause it right there, it looks like the paper tray is a hard-on.
Oh,
What are you
really?
talking about?
Oh my god, that's
Just a
hilarious.
straight hard-on.
There's a whole theory that the one dude that's with them like can't stand Jack, and he's like really jealous of Jack's presence there and all this other. Because like this is probably like it's like I forget the guy. What's the guy's name? I don't know if he's here.
I don't want to. It wasn't Tony.
No, it was a Watson. Watson.
Yeah.
He was like, Watson, can you take their bags up to their rooms? He goes, fine.
Yeah.
It's like, you know,
he's just
clearly doesn't like the situation. It's like, I don't know. Who cares?
Yeah. That theory didn't really work out too well for me.
Mm.
It is kind of weird though that I don't know. Did that theory do anything for you?
What, that he had a heart on?
No, the guy, he kept sitting there real angry because Jack was getting the job because he's the summertime caretaker and then Jack's gonna be wintertime.
Is that what that guy is?
I believe so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They pointed out that that's probably the guy who runs the whole thing, whereas the JFK looking guy just kind of puts the face on for everybody.
I see. Okay.
I don't know.
In room 237, they were saying that the JFK looking guy was the ideal white guy or whatever, and then the other guy was not so white, and I was like, "What the hell are you going on about?"
He was like
a
just
little
as white.
ethnic.
Yeah,
You look a little ethnic.
I think they said he looks more brown. It's like,
I don't know.
There was
about
like
that.
no ethnicity to that guy.
I don't know. Would it be racist to say all white people look the same? I don't know.
Yeah.
White man's burden. I still don't know what that means. That's one I don't get. I think that's
it has
just Jack.
to do with the Native Americans.
What is that? But yeah,
The
but
white
like,
man's burden.
isn't every person's burden alcohol? You know, why is it only
Yeah,
the white
well, yeah.
man's? I don't get, because he says that when he's ordering the drinks. Like, I don't know. That's one I've never really. I've always just like that's just Jack being silly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
was that about how, like, going back to his relationship with his wife, the white man's burden is his wife and kids driving him nuts?
Maybe he's like just a little problem with the old sperm bank upstairs.
Yeah.
Like, gross.
Women
Gosh.
can't live with them. Can't live without them.
Right you are, Lloyd.
You know,
Right you are.
I was talking to our co-host Mark about this film. He said he's really bothered by the cadence of the dialogue between actors. He said it almost feels like they're almost pausing in between each other and waiting for like Kubrick to give them action or something like that.
Did he give an example?
I brought up even him talking to Lloyd. It is a very slow cadence, but I almost like it. I almost find it not charming, but interesting way to talk to each other.
I think the reason why is because he's not talking to anyone.
Yeah,
Mm.
well,
You know?
and they're ghosts.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
They're probably
Yeah.
not the most spry people.
Yeah.
I liked it though. He's like, I don't know an example. Hair the dog, Lloyd, and then
Hair
it
the
turns to
dog.
Lloyd, and he's just sitting there. And he's like, right away, sir, or
Your
rubbing
money's,
on the rocks.
your
sir."
money's no good here, sir.
It
Yeah.
kind of feels like, have you ever tried to work a scenario out through your head and then you like
Mm,
go through it step by step and then you go back and do it again?
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
yeah.
A little bit slow.
Right.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
He's kind of having it in his head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of, he's just kind of venting, or just kind of almost therapeutically about his relationship with alcohol, his relationship with his wife and son, especially his son,
Mhm.
about hurting his son. I like when he's like, momentary lapse of muscular coordination. Could have happened to anybody. He's kind of justifying it.
Mm-hmm.
The little shit scattered my fucking papers everywhere, and I yanked them around and just yeah. I've always liked, again, those are the best scenes in the movie to me. And then oh god, the way that scene ends is so great too. And Shelley Duvall runs, they're like, Jack, there's like woman here in the hotel. She tried to strangle Danny, and he's like, you out of your fucking mind? No, there's a woman in one of the rooms, and she's trying to hurt Danny. What room was it? And then we cut to Scatman Crothers in his shag pad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just that's why I've always really been what do you call it? What do you call it when you're entranced or smitten? I've always been smitten by this movie because of just stuff like that. You know, and just I don't know, man. It's just it works for me so well.
Did Danny call Scatman when he was chilling out at home?
What do you mean?
I guess like telepathically he was calling him.
Yeah.
Because Sam was thinking that he was like getting possessed by Danny in a way.
I don't know about possession. Well, he does that.
Yeah, he does like
But,
do a little freak out.
And then when Scatman shows up and he gets killed, Danny's screaming. So they're like one and the same.
Yeah. I think it's just because they got the shine link. I don't know if it's a possession. I don't think he's possessing him. I think he's just kind of showing him what's going down.
Yeah. I felt like it was like more like a data upload. Like, hold on, you got to load all my data.
Yeah,
and then
sure.
he sees
There
everything, and it's all happening right now.
There we go. Sure. Yeah, that's got to be probably pretty crazy stuff. I mean.
Yeah. Seeing a bunch of like dead little twin girls and.
Well, I'm sure.
All the
I'm sure Halloran knows all that.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe it's just like you said. Maybe it's because they're in Colorado and he's in Florida that this was the dial-up shining.
Yeah,
they didn't have high-speed shining yet. I think you're right. It made I don't fucking know. But regardless, it's a great scene. Just lying in bed, and then just it makes you feel uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And then it cuts to him trying to call the hotel, can't get a hold of the hotel, so he calls like the service patrol, wherever the hell, and he's like, yeah, there's a wife and husband and kid there, and we haven't there's a bad storm coming, and then it just cuts him on a plane. And like when he calls the one guy, it's like, turns out these people have turned out to be unreliable assholes.
The guy that he's trying to rent the snowcat from.
Yes.
Mark was telling me that was Apollo Creed's trainer in one
Look
of the
him
Rocky
up.
films.
Tony Burton. It might be.
Tony Burton.
Yeah, it very well could be.
Durkin is his name. Let's see his IMDb.
It is.
Rocky.
That's awesome.
He was in Assault in Precinct 13.
Shit.
The classic
Okay.
one.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
That's cool.
This guy's awesome.
That's cool. He's in this film.
Yeah. Shoot. There he is.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Assault on a Priest? That's a John Carpenter movie. Oh,
I watched that one earlier this year.
That's
a good one.
Great fucking movie.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Great. Again, more great cast.
Yeah, great cast. Let's see.
That scene when Jack goes to room 237 to see what's going on, and then it's that hot chick, and he tries to get it on, and it turns out to be a corpse.
Yeah.
And then he goes back to his wife, and he's like, nothing happened.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't want to admit his L to his wife.
There wasn't a thing in that room.
Yeah. Nothing there.
No.
Which only means that Danny hurt himself. Nothing else could have happened.
Mm.
Who opens the store door to Jack? The Grady ghost or the evil power of the hotel?
Maybe you could look at it either way, because he's talking to the Grady ghost.
I saw somebody suggest that it was Danny opening the door.
When he's in the food pantry?
No.
Yeah, when he's locked in the food pantry.
No.
After Shelley knocked him out.
No, he's in the. I don't buy that. Do you buy that?
In room 237, they were suggesting that Danny might have known that he wanted to kill his dad this whole time, or Danny knew that there was. His dad? Yeah, Danny wanted to kill his dad. Basically,
okay. Interesting.
Like, he knew there was bad voodoo in this hotel, and he could pull it out of him, or make him get back into drinking or losing his mind somehow. So he led him down that path, but I don't know.
You can maybe look at it like that. I don't think Danny's trying to kill his dad. It's definitely the hotel. Well, that doesn't explain all the ghosts and shit, does it?
No.
Yeah.
Well, using the ghosts in your
favor.
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, then just use the ghosts in your favor to open the door then. I don't know. Like, the fact that he went down there and physically opened the door, I don't buy that. Because if he had done that, he could have Danny would have still been down there, and he could have just killed Danny then.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just, I don't know. That's for me, that doesn't work. But if people want to look at it like that, that's fine.
Since this is my first time watching this movie, I was pretty tense on that part when she puts him in the pantry room and locks him in. So I was like, don't let him out. No, don't let him out. Yeah, no matter what he says, don't let him out.
Oh, that's great too. When he's like, I hurt my head really bad.
Yeah.
I think I need to see a doctor. That's great too. He's like, go check it out. Go check it out.
Yeah.
Just
the radio.
Go check it out. Yeah, the snow cat in the radio.
He's trying everything he can to manipulate her and convince her to let him out. And
people say, this movie's misogynistic, and at times it definitely is. But at the same time, she's a pretty strong chick. She drags Jack Nicholson all the way in there, locks him in, doesn't buy his bullshit.
Yeah.
And she wins at the end. When you get down to brass tacks, she wins.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's one reason why I can maybe see past a lot of the misogyny and chauvinism and all the other sexism, because it's like, at least she wins at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's necessarily a blight on the movie that there's misogyny. It's just
But
it's
I think
just detailing how the
Stephen King, I
relationship.
think, definitely sees it. But Stephen King's already got personal hangups in regards to this. But
I mean, I see it from her point of view, where she's just trying to keep the peace and
Right.
make everyone happy, and then she's really smart. She knows how to get out of shit and how to run the shop.
Exactly.
Run a boiler room.
Yeah.
Run a radio. She's
I
trying
like
to
that.
fix the phones and run the radio.
Boy, this seems like a really bad storm. Over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right, Mrs. Torrance. You know, if there's anything else, I think we suggest that you keep your radio on at all times. Over. Sounds good. It's nice talking to you. Over and out. her like, I don't know what kind of, almost like Southern accent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that in that documentary, they also say that the opening sound, I think we're talking about, is from the Day of Judgment, a song, an old school song. I don't know if that's the dun dun or if that's like the howling in the background, but
that's interesting.
But you know, that goes back to like, oh, it sounds like spirits are following the yellow bug, and maybe we as the viewer are floating in and judging these characters.
Interesting. Yeah, you could look at it like that. Apparently, it's funny because Joe Turkel's in Blade Runner. Of those shots, they use that a lot of those shots in Blade Runner, the theatrical ending of like the. Oh, that's sad that they don't even have a picture of him from Blade Runner.
I clicked Lloyd. I didn't click.
Oh, I was gonna say, like,
let's click Joe
no
Turkel.
fucking pictures of him from Blade Runner. What was I gonna say? Yeah, because they were both produced by Warner Brothers. Can you look up the Shining original ending? Because I think there's pictures. I'm just we don't have to talk about it now, but just before I forget, go to images. Go down. Yeah. Right there.
This one?
Yeah, click on it. I think that's it. Oh, maybe not. Go down. I could have sworn there's pictures. Go back, please. Go down. Yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah, that's one. Go right. Yes, there we go. There we go. Okay.
What is that?
They're in a hospital. Yeah.
Oh.
Wow. Instead of just leaving us with her
driving
away and the snowcat away, she ends up in a hospital.
Do you want to talk about the ending? I don't know.
Yeah, tell me about it.
No, actual or just the ending in general. I don't want to jump. I mean, if you, it's up to you guys.
It's a very interesting ending. It's very clever. It's no big fireworks show. It's no shooting Jaws and he blows up in a little bits for sure. I think that's why I didn't originally like the film, but I think it is cool that Danny actually can. He's so clever that he can get out of the maze and wipe his tracks out while Jack's just being a giant wildebeest, getting lost in the maze and freezing to death. Freezing to death is probably a terrible way to go.
Oh yeah.
But he's not like getting blown up, and I mean, in total, I think this film only has like one kill, so it's not the most action-packed
That's true.
film.
It's a pretty gnarly kill.
Yeah.
I always wants to be poor Dick Halloran. I always
like right in the chest.
Yeah. What's up, Doc? Like I always liked him.
He gets on a plane.
I know, just to die. Poor guy. Yeah.
All right, I'm here to help everybody.
Poor dude. Oh, is anybody there?
Yeah. What do you think about the ending, Sam?
Yeah, I like how clever the kid is in the maze.
Oh, when he's retracing his steps. Yeah. Again, like it's almost like Jack Nicholson's kind of a dunce. He's kind of a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
They both outsmart him.
I think he's just losing his mind so much that he can't even think straight. But yeah, I mean, I know you like a lot of action in your movies and all that, but
I do too.
I really like this movie because of the psychological aspect of it, how nutty it is.
Yeah.
It's definitely a more psychological film.
You don't need the jump scares to be scared.
Right. Right. Do you like it when Shelley Duvall's running around the hotel and she's just seeing all the funky shit going on?
Yeah.
Sees the elevator blood, sees like the skeletons. She sees the guys in the bear costume.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, okay, do you still think that doesn't make sense?
That scene right there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, but
I think it makes sense.
I mean, it made better sense this time to me because it is like the sins of our fathers, and this hotel clearly has some shit happened in it. I think even Dick Halloran says that in the beginning. He's like, some crazy stuff happened here.
Yeah,
I guess so.
Yeah.
And if you want to talk about crazy stuff, that is just crazy.
Well, I guess to me it was never that weird because it's like oh, the Wendigo. Whenever I think of the Wendigo, I think of X-Men. Yeah, that was like a Native American legend, the Wendigo. It's like I don't know if you want to like look up what it actually is. I always in X-Men they portrayed it like a Bigfoot kind of thing.
Oh, geez. That was scary.
But to me, it's just like there was once like to me, okay, the way I look at the bear suit scene was just that there was probably a Halloween party there one year, and two of the guys just got it on. Like,
yeah,
you know, like
yeah, that makes sense because
Yeah.
it's a hotel. There's been different characters all through the
Yeah.
history of it.
yeah.
You think that's a guy in the bear costume?
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, it looks like a guy's ass. Could be a chick.
It's a man, baby.
She's a man, baby.
Well, and then there's
Beaten with an ugly stick.
the woman who must have died in that bathtub. That was clearly something happened there. Maybe a politician or somebody drowned her or something.
Could
We
be.
don't know.
Yeah, could be.
The blood in the
Just
elevator
real bad.
represents the Native Americans, of course, in the Holocaust.
Yeah, that's a crazy ass bathroom too. I'm sure someone said something about the way the bathroom looks with all the red.
Yeah.
What else does she see? I like the guy when he's like, "Great party," isn't it? He's got like blood running down his face.
Like he
That's
got
great.
like chopped in the head or something at one point.
That's a great scene.
That's a great one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just so much imagery in this that's always, and it's like, again, it's like kind of part of the pop culture, the blood and the twins, even the guy in the bear costume and the other guy. It's like, you know, it's very, this movie is very,
It's probably been
ingrained.
done by Family Guy. It's probably,
yes, exactly.
we talked about Simpsons have done it.
Yeah.
South Park probably.
And I know, like, when it came out, I know a decent amount of people didn't like it. And I think as time went on, it was more appreciated. It came out the same month as Empire Strikes Back and Friday the 13th.
Oh, wow.
And I think Friday the 13th knocked it off of like it started making more money. The Shining made a decent amount of money, but I think when Friday the 13th came out, it started making more money. I think
It's a more classic horror film.
Overall, The Shining made more money, but when Friday the 13th came out, everyone's just like, okay, fuck Shining, let's go see Friday the 13th. Let's go see the slasher. Well,
that's kind of how the documentary starts, Room 237. Almost all of them say, when I first saw this in theaters, I just was so disappointed, you know? I came out and I was like, wow, the same guy who did 2001, he made this and it wasn't as good. But then later on, they got the videotape at home and started looking a little bit closer at things and making the connections. And I'm like, I don't know. Should you have to do that? Should you have to make connections, like moon landing connections and Nazi connections?
I don't think so. I think really if you have to do that, it takes away the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's almost like, but at the same time, who am I to say what makes a movie good for someone?
Right.
You know, if it works for them, that's great. But in my opinion, if you're doing all that, I think you're reaching and you probably don't really like the movie. But
yeah,
again, if whatever, you know, I'm not
trying to like the movie a little bit too hard.
Like, I'm not going to tell someone like, oh, you like the movie because of that. Well, you're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, if you like it because of that, that's cool.
Yeah.
You know,
watching Room 237 reminded me of in high school, I used to watch a lot of Illuminati videos about Beyonce and Eminem and the 3 a.m. references and
oh god, that's funny.
All the spooky.
Everyone's lizard people.
Once you pointed that out, I was like, oh no, this is probably the most cheesy documentary I've ever seen.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? God damn it! Oh no, what was I gonna say? I think it had something to do with that.
You're gonna say what this movie actually is about.
No, it's just about a spooky hotel.
Yeah, okay.
With telekinetic people. That's all it's about. You know, for me, that's why I like it so much.
And it's about the family. It's about family.
It's about family. Yeah.
Human blight.
Yeah. Oh god damn it! I don't know what the fuck I was gonna say. Who cares?
Do you want to rate it? Well, I was talking about the ending. I don't know if we got your guys' opinions about the ending. Sam said, meh. It's fine.
No, yeah, I liked it.
You like the ending?
Yeah, I like the ending.
Would you have preferred that deleted ending?
So, okay, in the deleted ending, I think it's after they show him in the snow, but before they show the picture,
Of Jack Frozen?
Yeah.
Of Jack in the Past of 1921.
Yes.
Okay.
They show that they made it to like somewhere, the city, maybe Denver, and Stuart Ullman comes to visit them.
Oh, JFK?
Yeah. And there's Danny hanging out with a nurse, and we see Shelley Duvall in a bed. And Stuart Ullman maybe this might be like a long time, or maybe a time has passed, because he tells Shelley Duvall that they never found Jack Nicholson's body.
Whoa.
And then when he's walking out of the hospital, we didn't even talk about this. He gives Danny the tennis ball that Jack Nicholson's thrown around. Yeah, he throws yellow ball to Danny. That's one thing I sometimes, because we have like tennis balls and stuff around the house, like if we're waiting for something, I'll start doing that, and a lot of people joke like, what are you, Jack Nicholson in The Shining? You're going crazy. It's just, something I like to do. But yeah, that apparently went to theaters like that.
Oh, wow.
And it played like that for about a week and a half. And Stanley Kubrick made people from Warner Brothers go to theaters and cut the 35 millimeter prints of that scene out.
Wow.
And bring it back to Warner Brothers. And apparently it doesn't exist anymore.
Wow.
And there was rumors when they made the 4K Blu-ray that it was going to be in there, and it's not.
No, man.
But people saw it. People saw that scene. I wish I could have asked my dad if he had seen it and if he'd remembered it. But I guess Stanley Kubrick. See, that's the other weird thing too. Stanley Kubrick was, again, kind of a crazy guy. I was just like, no. Let's take that out. Did you like? What do you? Because I think the reason he justified it because it took away more of the supernatural. But then again, it doesn't, because
I feel like that adds supernatural elements.
Yeah. And I think maybe it's because it almost seems like Ullman's in on it by him giving Danny the tennis ball.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's what he didn't like about it. I don't know. What do you guys think? It was right to cut that out? Do you think maybe you should leave it in? What do you think?
I think I'm glad they cut it out, and I think it would have made Ullman way more creepy and might have helped the U.S. government opinion or conspiracy that he's like the JFK character,
right,
running the whole show.
Yeah.
There's a lot of gaslighting in this movie, and Kubrick gaslit the whole audience by taking the ending out. Like it never existed.
Yeah, exactly.
I do like that ending though, where Shelley Duvall's in the hospital. If that were to stay in, because then I feel like there's more resolution for her and more comfort.
That's true. I mean, but now we have Dr. Sleep, so we know that she and Danny kind of lived somewhat decent lives afterwards.
Yeah,
not so much after she died, because spoiler, but she dies in Dr. Sleep.
I think
it
works
or something. I can't remember, but he leaves a troubled life. But
I think it works better with them just getting out with that last scene.
I've seen the movie that way my whole life, so I guess I would have to say I prefer it that way. But at the same time, I wish someone would find that footage. I would really like to see it.
The bonus scenes.
Yeah,
that'd be a good bonus scene.
There's Toby Hooper, who directed Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He was making a movie in the mid '80s in England called Life Force. And Stanley Kubrick lived in England most of his life, and he got to meet him at a studio there when he was making Life Force. And he was in the edit. Stanley Kubrick was in the editing bay, and he went in there, and he's like, "Oh, what are you editing?" And he goes, "I'm editing The Shining." And Toby Hooper is like, and it was really strange to me because The Shining had been out for about 5 years, and he was still editing The Shining.
Oh my god!
And
that's crazy.
Isn't that weird? Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. Isn't that bizarre?
Well, because some people pointed out that The Shining, in the room 2 through 7, they pointed out that The Shining can be played back and forth. And then somebody was like, so what I did is I literally played them at the same time, one going forward and one going backwards. And then you can match it up and it makes a postcard out of the first scene.
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson's eyes line up with the dead girls' bodies and stuff like that. So is that how meticulous and genius Kubrick is? And that's why he's editing all the time?
There's another scene where someone has their mouth open, and then Danny's watching TV and the people are in the mouth. And so they're like, he's talking to him through the TV or whatever.
So there's a word for all that. There's a few words for all that. It's called coincidence.
Yeah.
Or serendipity.
Yeah.
It's like the whole thing with like Wizard of Oz and Pink Floyd. When you play Pink Floyd, it matches up, and it does. It looks awesome, but there's no way in hell anybody planned that. It's just a weird thing that works out. It's just it's just a serendipitous situation. Like, sometimes that happens. Not everything in this fucking world is black and white and planned. Like, sometimes just weird shit happens. Like,
well, then why is he still editing the film?
Because Stanley Kubrick was a fucking crazy person. I don't know. I have no idea. I have no fucking clue why he was still editing it in the mid 80s. I have no idea why.
It reminds me
bored. Maybe that's what he would do and spread just bored. Would you, if you were bored, would you go back and edit Bottle Jack's video? Just maybe I could. It's like George Lucas fucking with Star Wars all these years.
That's why I don't do it.
If Jabba the Hutt was in this thing, it'd be better. We actually saw the Wampa, doing this and that. It's like,
that's exactly why I never go back and try to do anything. At least he didn't
fuck it up too much to where like, oh, I'm gonna re-edit it and then make it so that's the only way people could see this now. He kind of did with taking the editing out, but at least that's the only thing if he officially did. So I can't stand it when people fucking do that. I was listening to David Cronenberg, a commentary earlier this year for his movie Shivers, and they were talking about the effects because it's from the 70s. The effects are dated, of course. It was a movie made in the 70s. Like, I have no reason to, be, say, a George Lucas and change these effects. I think these effects, just show the time of when the film was made. I'm like, thank you, David Cronenberg, for not being a douchebag and making this not a product of its time anymore. Appreciate you. But anyway.
You want to rate this thing?
Sure.
All right, let's rate it. Sam, do you want to go first? Out of 5?
I really like this movie. There's a lot of stuff that I laughed at just because it is pretty dated, but I'd give it a 4 out of 5. I really liked it.
Nice.
It's like definitely pop culture.
Oh yeah.
It's in the zeitgeist.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And it's so funny for a movie that like apparently wasn't really that well liked at first. I think The Simpsons were already referencing it in the 90s. So I think by the 90s it at least, was kind of at least somewhat catching on.
Who's your favorite character, Sam?
Shelley.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it because we saw X and Pearl this year. I think if they were to make this nowadays, she should be Mia Goth.
Mia Goth should play her?
Yeah. What do you think of that? What do you think of that?
I don't know. It might work.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just because they almost kind of look a little alike.
Kind of.
I don't know. What do you think of that, Sam?
I don't really see a resemblance between them.
Oh, really?
I think Mia Goth feels way more powerful.
Yeah. Well, I mean...
Shelley feels like you go... and then just like she blows away.
No, Shelley's... You mean like build-wise? Or...
No. Oh, okay.
In my opinion.
Because... I mean, in the movie, I feel like Shelley's got her wits about her, but she is kind of a timid person, and Mia Goth in X, she plays a much more straightforward, like, commandeering person.
Not always in X though. Like the scene where she's talking to Pearl in the house isn't necessarily. You can tell she's definitely scared and not wanting to be there and creeped out and everything, which I think would kind of be a good way to portray Wendy. I don't know. This is something because I watched this yesterday. I was like, I could kind of, I don't know if it's just X and Pearl are still in my mind.
Oh yeah, that was burned in there this year.
Yeah.
Well, her acting in Pearl is
well,
she's a lot stronger. She's a murderer in that one.
Yeah.
She's killing her mom. She's killing her boyfriend.
Yeah, that's true.
Shelley Duvall, she can't kill anybody.
She could. I think she could.
Wendy Torrance can kill somebody.
Oh yeah,
no way.
I think so. Definitely.
Why not? Ran away.
Why not?
She ran. Well, I guess she did slice Jack's hand when he tried getting in the door.
And it is also her husband. Like she doesn't want to kill him.
Yeah, exactly.
She just wants him to stop.
Yeah. Stop it.
You did this, Jack.
You did this. Oh.
I don't know. Would you see it if it was remade though?
No.
Well, they apparently did. I was telling you, they remade it in the 90s and it looks fucking horrible. That's right.
Yeah.
If see, that's the thing. My philosophy with remakes is if it's already a good movie, don't remake it.
Oh
I don't think that's not the, that's not the, I don't think they do that in the remake. If that's the remake.
Where he's like possessed.
Yeah.
Looks like a zombie from Evil Dead.
Oh my God.
I think Stephen King likes the remake better.
He had a big say in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I've only seen clips. I never plan on watching that fucking movie. It's like a TV movie too. It's like you can't even get like good kills or anything, or good kill. I don't even know if there are kills in it.
A lot of Stephen King stuff almost feels like made for TV films.
A lot of it was in the 90s, like The Stand and the Tommyknockers and the Langoliers and everything. Night Flyers or something. It's a lot of TV stuff. Salem's Lot was a TV movie, which is a great TV movie by Toby Hooper. But
I think I'd give this one a 4 out of 5, guys.
Nice.
Yeah. It's not my favorite movie ever, but I respect it. Jack Nicholson kills it in this one. He has a different facial expression every time too when he's talking to the waiters. Like,
yeah, I've seen you make some of those faces.
I know, right? When I'm contemplating, like, yeah, he's amazing in this one. I really like Shelley Duvall this time around. She was great. Danny Lloyd is probably one of the best child actors I've seen in a minute. I'm trying to think of other child actor films we've watched recently. But he does great. Scatman, dude.
He's a Scatman.
Charles Grady's awesome. Yeah. I love Lloyd. Just that whole dialogue between Lloyd.
Cool. Yeah.
Hair the dog, Lloyd. Hair the dog.
The guy who plays Grady is also in A Clockwork Orange.
Really?
He's I think he's Malcolm McDowell's dad.
Oh.
I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Philip Stone is who plays him. This time around.
Oh, he's in Temple of Doom also.
Oh, cool.
I forgot about that.
This time around, I was paying more attention to the music as well. I think it's a very interesting use of music, very different from anything that we're really used to. I mean, it's a lot different than a Commando's Turtle Shells. It's very... And it's not what I'm used to for like a horror film either. It doesn't feel like classic horror film music to me.
Right.
I think that's kind of what sets it apart, though. Watching Room 237... I don't know if that helped my experience or not.
It's a fun watch. I'll give it that. It's fun to watch,
I will say I got a little bit more creeped out because of that window knowledge that the window shouldn't be there. So now I am kind of creeped out by the movie.
Architecturally, it's incorrect.
Yeah. But overall, Jack Nicholson kills it in this one. 4 out of 5 for me. What about you, Ian?
Well, what's your guys? So do you have a favorite character?
I think Jack. Dude.
Okay, yeah, that's a great choice. Yeah. Would you say you guys have favorite scenes if you were to choose one scene in this movie, or maybe the scene that sticks with you the most?
What do you think, Sam?
When he's working away on his typewriter and she goes and tries to talk to him and he flips out on her for no good reason.
Basically. We should start by getting the fuck out of here. We're gonna make a new rule.
If you see
typing, what the fuck you hear me doing in here means I'm working.
That is a good scene.
You think you can do that? Why don't you start by getting the fuck out of here? Leslie, yes, I want to watch Burnt Offerings. I would definitely like to do this sometime. Yeah, I watched a movie, an Australian movie called Next of Kin that Quentin Tarantino says there's a lot of The Shining in that. Which I don't know if I got a lot of The Shining. Next of Kin was a good movie. But to me, that's the thing I like about The Shining so much is it's just so individual. There's never been another movie like The Shining. That's what I really like about it. Like it's always had its own feel to me.
What would you give it out of 5?
Oh, it's a 5. I've been giving way too many 5s. I feel like.
But that's okay.
Yeah, it's a 5.
I'm picking some bangers lately too.
I have no complaints. I've never had any complaints. I honestly, there's nothing I can take away from this movie that was negative or bad.
What's your favorite scene?
The scene in the bathroom with Grady and Jack.
Yeah. It's very different too from the rest of the movie. How it's lit. It's bright red. It's white.
I don't know if it's hard. I don't know if anyone could ever actually make anything of it. But some people say that Jack Nicholson's not looking at him. He's actually looking in the mirror.
It kind of does
and
look
he's
like
right
that at
there.
Points. Like he's not making eye contact.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Well, then there's that point where Grady turns around to rinse off the rag to be able to wipe more, and like Jack Nicholson is
he's trying to get a look.
I think I do remember.
Yeah. Like, and that scene, it's just so strange because he's like, I read about you in the papers. I saw your pictures in the papers, and so someone's lying, and it's most likely Jack Nicholson or something. Either he lied to Ullman or he's lying to the Grady ghost because he tells Ullman that he wasn't familiar with Charles Grady, and then he tells Delbert Grady that he saw his picture in the papers and this and that. So I don't know if he lied to Ullman, or maybe after Ullman told him that, he went to the library and found old archival newspaper clippings.
That's what I was thinking.
I have
He
no
did his
idea.
research afterwards.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, that's for sure. Which is what I like so much about this movie.
Yeah. Shelley Duvall is actually going to be in her first movie since 2002. It's called Forest Hills. We just watched the trailer before this. It looks kind of crazy. It looks like almost like a werewolf film. It's taken a lot of like Howling and American Werewolf in London inspiration, it looks like. But Shelley Duvall's back. What do you think about that?
It's just kind of sad.
He's 73 years old.
She's gone through a lot.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know. It's just kind of sad. I feel bad for her.
Well, who else is in that one? Edward Furlong's in there.
Dee Wallace is in it.
Dee Wallace from The Howling. I kind of want to watch it just to see all of these classic horror actors back. I don't think it'll be good.
Yeah.
But I might give it a watch.
Yeah.
Give them some rental money or something.
Yeah.
I think next weekend is Veterans Day.
Yeah, we get a 3-day weekend, which is going to be very nice. Do you want to record on Veterans Day? If that works out for everyone?
Maybe the Saturday after, because I think that's the wedding.
The wedding's at 4 p.m.
Oh, that's right. It's on Veterans Day?
Yeah, it's on Friday.
We might be able to...
No, we can just do Saturday if that's...
We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
But next weekend for Veterans Day, we're going to be watching Ian's favorite.
Do you want to do that? You want to do Dead Presidents?
Dead Presidents.
Okay.
I think you showed it to me like 2020
I did.
President's Day.
Yeah, because no one talks about that fucking movie for some reason.
And I'm excited to talk about it because I remember really liking it when you showed it to me.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
That one has a lot of
hopefully everyone else is down to watch it as well.
A lot of great action, some blood, and some good robbery scenes.
Oh yeah.
That's a great one.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, everybody look forward to that. I think Wednesday we'll be back with another midweek stream talking about what we've been watching.
Yeah.
And thanks for being here, Sam.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you everyone that watched and commented.
Sam's got the shining.
She's got the shinin.
She's got the shinin.
She's got the shinin.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you very much.
Until next time. Later, everybody.
Boy.